Commuters are facing problems on NL Road due to the continued implementation of one-way traffic, which was initially introduced during the renovation work at the road overbridge. The Trained Nurses Association of India, Nagaland State Branch, held its 4th State Students Nurses Association SNAI Meet 2025 at the Refuge Retreat Center in Chumuketima from April 29 to 30. The Naga Students Federation NSF has expressed gratitude to the state government for revoking its cabinet decision to regularize 147 assistant professors through one-time absorption. Anderson Theological College held its 28th graduation ceremony under the theme Empowered to Lead with Dr. Bennett Lawrence, Regional Secretary of the Asia Theological Association, as the guest speaker. Noklak District is basking in academic glory as its students excelled in the recently declared High School Leaving Certificate HSLC and Higher Secondary School Leaving Certificate HSSLC examination 2025. Welcome viewers, you are watching Nltv English Primetime. This is Shamita Singha. Here is the news in details. Commuters are facing problems on NL Road due to the continued implementation of one-way traffic, which was initially introduced during the renovation work at the road overbridge. Despite the completion of the road, the one-way traffic remains in effect, causing inconvenience to commuters who find the previous two-way traffic system more convenient. They have appealed to the concerned department to reconsider the traffic arrangement. We have a detailed report with our reporter Niboli. Let's have a look.
Last year overbridge na baradak to NL road two-way section na itu one-way hoji sido apnihan karni to apnihan to bacha khan ge drop kuri pick kuri na apnihan lai subject kun do hi convenient thakis na
ani dusra dun na jine hola pe according to me moi to poila hi bala je kile hoy kile kole traffic jam bishi hoi jai na itu karni ya one way eje pale jai thaga roi pale jai aha thaga na तो पहिला लाई ठीक है सर
तो अपनी क्वेश्चन दे दो टू वे ही कन्वीनियंट है शायद दे वन वे हारो लो ट्रैफिक जाम खान इंगा होते हैं तो बच्चा खान भी इधर टाइम दे रो लेट होई ना किनी का से
अनि पहिला लाई तो अनि होय इकुन होय केना पंचो होय थक्से होले बे इते तो অলপ लेट हो आछे ना किले कोले रास्ता भी बिया से एकता जगह दे जो करने लेट हो जाए किनी आछे
तो अपनी हां दो इनी स्कूल आई होले दो गुरा हुआ लगी उलाई जना किन का सिकला मने वन वे हो जाए ना
होय इतो गर्ने दिक्कत आछे गुरा होले ना अनि डिपेंड्स ऑन द आई मीन एरिया ओ भले छे गुले ता खान दो लाभ आछे आमी खान दो सिग्नल भले है आछे ना इतो ने অলপ दिक्कत आछे इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द एरिया आमी खान एरिया सिग्नल करने दो इनी दिक्कत लागि आछे
तो अपनी भी इतो लपरे कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट खांगे अपील करो मन जैसे किबा
See, मैं एकला करने तो नहीं करो ना पड़ेगा क्लियर why because any distract मनु खान पे ऐसे ना I alone cannot do anything any मनु खान ला बपना पिलो वाला गे निका हो जाए वाले पे नहीं ताई खान भी कौन निशना क्लियर कोले पहला तो ट्रैफिक जाम इतने ना था के दे अमी खान any ada peaceful pace ना वाला वाला बड़ी थक से वाले पे इतने तो बिशी बक लेट हो जासे नहीं गोर पंचायत हम जब ना इतो करने है any मैं concerned authorities खान के appeal करो ले मन थका दो any it's a humble request that अपनी खान परिचय को लेनी पहला निशना नहीं कर दिले या
अच्छा अंकल मान जनिश ना इधर लास्ट ईयर सितंबर तक दो टू वे थकिश ना ले इधर रोड ओवरब्रिज बनाए टाइम दे दान वन वे कोडिश ना अरे देवी वन वे कोडिश ना अपनी करनी तो टू वे कन्वीनियंस ना वन वे कन्वीनियंस ना
इधर तो टू वे हुआ तो भाले आसे टू वे तो हुआ तो भाले आसे वन वे तो बेसी भीड़ राश हो जाए तो स्कूल टाइम पे टू वे हुआ तो भाले आसे विमान राश ना हो भाले आसे टू वे हुआ तो वन वे तो बेसी दिक्कत आसे बेसी भीड़ हो और आजकल तो भाले आसे टू वे हुआ तो
अपनी भी इधर ला ऊपरे कंसर्न ऑथोरिटीज खाएंगे अपनी ला अपील की को मुझे
इधर तो बेसी राश तो पार्किंग करने राश हो जाए पार्किंग अननेसेसरी पार्किंग कर दे तो मानु खान गाड़ी खान ना साइज ना रखी ना आन साइज रखी ना इधर करने बेसी भीड़ हो जाए तो करने और पार्किंग भाल हो जाए भाल राश ना हो इमान
अच्छा अंकल मान जनेश ना पहला दे लास्ट ईयर दे दो एनएल रोड टू वे थकिश ना होले दे road overbridge bana chire aro bana dam dewa hi tahani one way korise apni karne kun do hi convenient ase aro kini gasna
আমি কারণ তো তুই থাকা ভালো আছে ওর কি করে আছে বলে তো এতে জায়গায় না হলি ক্রস লাইন ওর তো দপিনালা লাইন পুরো জাম থাকিব এতে একলা নহয় কিন্তু ওর খের মল লাইন পুরো জাম থাকে হলে এতে তু লাইন থাকছে বলে তো গাড়ি তো ইঞ্জর রাস্তাতে আরাম প্রা হয়ে যায় তোরা আমি কারণ তো তু লাইন থাকা ভালো আছে
तो अपनी को इसना तो वे था बाले से कुछ ना तो बच्चा के पिक रुएले नली ड्रॉप कोला टाइम तो टाइम ट्रैफिक देवा टाइम जाए ना किने का
भाई तो तू वे था तम तो कुछ दिक्कत नहीं वाली वन वे हो जाए तो टाइम भी एक्स्ट्रा जाए और गाड़ी की तेल भी खर्चा एक्स्ट्रा लाए इनका हो जाए
अच्छा तो अपनी हाल ला इधर concern kan ले भी अपनी खान की प्रॉब्लम फेस करे जे तो concern authorities खान भी जानियो लगे ना इरानी अपनी भी concern authorities खान के इतला परे की अपील करो मुझे
ताकन परिचय को ले तो पहले जितना तुलन रख दिया बाल हो तो कोथा तो इतना
The Trained Nurses Association of India, Nagaland State Branch held its 4th State Students Nurses Association SNAI Meet 2025 at the Refugee Retreat Center in Chimokitima from April 29 to 30, under the theme Learning Today, Leading Tomorrow. The event aimed to empower nursing students. Health Nursing School Singrijan was the host institute. Dr. Kevedui Theo, Medical Superintendent of District Hospital Dimapur, encouraged students to set goals and strive for excellence in the competitive world. He emphasized the need for a strong, dynamic and vibrant nurses association to safeguard nurses' interests. The meet saw participation from 364 students, 30 TNAI members, 2 TNAI officials and 3 state SNAI office bearers, featuring various activities and events. We have a detailed report with our reporter Niboli. Let's have a look. The Naga Students Federation NSF has expressed gratitude to the state government for revoking its cabinet decision to regularize 147 assistant professors through one-time absorption. NSF Vice President Sitsuding stated that the decision is a significant victory for meritocracy, fairness and transparency in public recruitment. The NSF has been actively pursuing the matter for over 6 months, submitting representations and taking to the streets when necessary. The Federation reaffirmed its commitment to defending students' rights and warned that it would not hesitate to initiate democratic measures if merit and transparency are compromised in the future. We have a detailed report with our reporter Grace. Let's have a look.
NSF was not silent. Today we want to pronounce it very clearly, where NSF was patiently waiting for nearly 6.5 months on this issue. NSF have treated this issue in a very sensitive manner, where NSF always fight for meritocracy, fairness and justice. On 14th of April, NSF have submitted a representation to the government of Nagaland addressing Chief Secretary, and on 21st April, Naga Student Federation have given an ultimatum to the government addressing to Honorable Minister in charge of higher education, and whereby after the expiry of the ultimatum on 28 April, Naga Student Federation was compelled to come out of the street and go for agitation. And today, the government have responded to the call of the Naga Student Federation very positively. On that note, the Naga Student Federation wants to convey our sincere appreciation to the government of the day for conceding to the demand of the Naga Student Federation. And we also request the public to have faith in Naga Student Federation. So here, Naga Student Federation once again reiterate, stating that we call to have faith in Naga Student Federation, because Naga Student Federation will always fight for the justice of the Naga people. If I have missed out any point, I think my colleague can also supplement on that.
Noklak district is basking in academic glory as its students excelled in the recently declared High School Leaving Certificate HSLC and Higher Secondary School Leaving Certificate HSSLC examination 2025. Top performers include Niam Koi P from St. Paul's School, Noklak Town, who secured 7th rank in HSLC with 97.17%, Pham B from Eklavya Model Residential School, Twinsang, who attained 15th rank with 95.83%, and Chiliam L from Little Star Higher Secondary School, Dimapur, who claimed 17th rank with 95.50%. In the HSSLC art stream, Sujang L from Mezer Higher Secondary School, Kohima, secured 4th position with 95.20%. The outstanding performances have drawn praise from educators and community leaders, highlighting Noklak's growing emphasis on quality education and youth empowerment. The Chief Minister's Universal Life Insurance Scheme CMLIS portal will be temporarily unavailable from May 1 to May 4, 2025 for scheduled system maintenance and upgrades. The Department of Finance, Government of Nagaland has announced that the downtime is necessary to enhance portal efficiency, security, and overall service delivery. During this period, all the services, including new registration, adding dependents, and downloading claim forms, will be inaccessible. Users are advised to complete pending tasks before or after the maintenance window. Normal operations are expected to resume on May 5, 2025. For urgent matters, users can contact the helpline at 7005 288-156 or visit SCK centers located at respective district DC offices. Nagaland Departments of School Education and SCERT launched the Nagaland Literacy Numeracy Fest NLNF 3.0 on April 30, 2025. In Kohima, the program, which starts on May 1 via the Diksha portal, aims to improve basic reading and math skills in government schools from pre-primary to grade 3. Commissioner Kevileno Angami called it a transformative initiative that helps teachers make small but effective changes. The program will include 5 cycles with activities like readathon, speakathon, writeathon, and more. School leaders will also focus on involving parents and improving school system. NLNF 3.0 is part of the Nipun Bharat mission and has been running since 2022. Though math skills have improved, recent data shows a drop in reading levels, especially in private schools. Angami urged full participation to boost student learning across the state. To know more about the program, let's take a look at reporter Soshila's ground report.
As a Secretary for agreeing to launch this NNNF 3.0 today, and I would also like to welcome in our midst our new SPD, Sir Jamukam, and also the committee members of the NNNF from SCRT, Samagra Shiksha, and DOSC. And a special welcome to Haider from Shiksha Lokam, who has been our driving force, part of the driving force for Shiksha Lokam. They are the organization that we are collaborating with, especially for this micro improvement program. And I would also like to warmly welcome our press friends who have come here today to cover this program. So before we begin, I would just like to set the context for today's launching program. Now, as we all know, our state has been adopting the micro-improvement approach in many programs, and the Nagaland Literacy and Numeracy Fest is one of them. And through this micro-improvement approach, we intend to supplement in attaining the objectives of the Nibun Bharat mission, which is to attain foundational literacy and numeracy. So through the micro-improvement approach, through innovative projects, we are encouraging teachers to take up innovative projects in the classrooms to attain the objectives of foundational literacy and numeracy. So as we all know, micro-improvement means small steps to achieve a larger objective. So this is the main objective behind this approach. And we started this micro-improvement approach in the year 2022 with the Reading Festival because we wanted to enhance reading skills in children. And then from 2023 onwards, we began the Nagaland Literacy and Numeracy Fest. And today we will be launching the third edition of this fest. And these projects are available on the Diksha portal. And so teachers can just enter the Diksha portal, access the design of the program, the cycle 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then they can also submit their projects on the Diksha portal. So today we will be launching the third edition of the Nagaland Literacy and Numeracy Fest, and before that we would like to show a short video which encapsulates the whole journey from 2022 up to now. So I will.
The Naga Students Federation (NSF) has called off its democratic agitation with immediate effect after the government of Nagaland revoked its cabinet decision to regularize 147 assistant professors through one-time absorption. The NSF has opposed the decision, citing concerns over meritocracy, fairness, and transparency in public recruitment. The Federation appreciated the solidarity and supports from its organs, student leaders, youth committee, and various organizations, and saluted the aspirants who upheld their belief in competitive and merit-based recruitment. The NSF vowed to remain vigilant and proactive in safeguarding students' rights and future. Viewers will be back after a short break. Welcome back, viewers. You are watching Nltv English Primetime. Anderson Theological College held its 28th graduation ceremony under the theme Empowered to Lead, with Dr. Bennett Lawrence, Regional Secretary of the Asia Theological Association, as the guest speaker. 41 students received degrees in Master of Divinity, Bachelor of Theology, and Diploma in Theology. Academic awards and special honors were presented to top performance, including the Anderson Award for Christian Maturity and Leadership and the Performer Principles Award. The ceremony concluded with remarks from the governing body chairman and a final benediction. Deputy Commissioner Sarah S. Jamir of Newland District has announced new rules regarding donations and sales by unions, societies and associations in the district. As per the directive from the Home Department, Government of Nagaland, permission for annual FETE days and sales will only be given to a well-established organization with specific dates and location, and door-to-door sales will be prohibited. The sale of badges, coupons, and calendars will be banned except for government-sponsored sales, and lotteries will only be allowed for recognized charitable organizations with prior approval from the Home Department. Strict action will be taken against violators. The Nagaland State Commission for Protection of Child Rights NSCPCR organized an awareness program on child rights at the Village Council Hall, Shillong, emphasizing the collective responsibility of communities, institutions, and individuals in protecting and promoting children's rights. Chairman Alun Hang Singh highlighted the importance of prioritizing child protection and urged participants to carry the message forward and apply it within their families and communities. The program included presentations on key child protection laws such as the Right to Education Act, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences POCSO Act, and the Juvenile Justice Act. Experts discussed the comprehensive support system from child victims and the role of school management communities in ensuring accountability and community involved in schools. In a significant press conference held at the Agartala Secretariat, Tripura's Social Welfare and School Education Department, Minister Tinku Roy announced that the BJP-led Tripura government will provide social allowances to 5,458 additional people. This move comes as a result of vacancies created by the deaths of beneficiaries under the Chief Minister's Social Assistance Scheme, which is linked to the central government's Social Allowance Program. Currently, the Tripura Social Welfare and School Education Department offers 34 different types of social allowances, including 3 from the central government and 31 from the state, benefiting around the 3.9 lakh poor people in the state. Minister Tinku Roy further added that if the primary earning members of an Antodaya family passes away, the family receives Rs 20,000 under the National Family Assistance Scheme. Students of a Class 12 school in Kamlalpur Salema Colony, Dhalai District, Tripura, staged a protest by blocking the road on Thursday after being forced to study in a risky environment due to a crumbling school building. Despite repeated complaints to the school authorities, no action has been taken, prompting local residents to join the students' movement. The situation was eventually brought under control by Mithun Das, head of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, and the Kachuchara Gram Panchayat, who took the students back to school. Guardians and locals are now demanding urgent measures to ensure student safety and a smooth learning environment. Tripura Governor Indra Sena Reddy Nalu has appointed Justice Arindam Lod, a retired judge of High Court of Tripura. As the chairperson of the Tripura Human Rights Association, Justice Lod replaces Justice S.C. Das and will serve as a term of 3 years or until he attains the age of 70. Whichever comes earlier, his appointment, effective from the date he assumes office, aims to enhance the Commission's efficiency in dealing with human rights-related issues. Known for his integrity and deep understanding of the law, Justice Lod brings years of judicial experience to the post. The appointment was made under subsection 1 of Section 22 of the Protection of Human Rights Act, 1993. In response to the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir, where 28 tourists were killed, the third gender community in Tripura held a protest at Ramesh Chowmuhani Bazar in Udaipur sub-district, Gomati district. During the protest, they burned Pakistani flags and festoons to condemn the terrorist act. Notably, Tripura has a recognized third gender community with 13 registered voters identifying as third gender in the state's voter list. The community's protest highlights their solidarity with the victims and their condemnation of terrorist activities. The Mizoram Board of School Education (MBSE) has announced that the results from the Class 12 examinations will be declared on May 6. Officials confirmed on Thursday. The Higher Secondary School Leaving Certificate HSSLC exam results will be available at the NBSE office and as well as Chatultang at the regional office in Lungle. In addition, students can access their results online via the official websites. www.mbse.edu.in, and www.mbseonline.com. Students are advised to check the websites on the specified date for quick access to their results. On May 1, 2025, International Workers' Day was celebrated with a great dignity by various CPIM party organizations across Tripura. In Agartala, opposition leader and CPIM State Secretary Jitendra Chaudhary hosted the party flag at the CPIM office in Melarmat. Former Tripura Minister and CITU State Secretary Manik De, along with the CITU State President Sankar Prasad Datta, hosted the flag at the Agartala City State Office. During the celebration, Jitendra Chaudhary and Manik De criticized the BJP government for undermining workers' rights. They warned that without strengthening workers, their rights would be endangered in the future. Both leaders called for unity to protect the rights of workers. The Meghalaya High Court has ordered the state government and central authorities to exceeded the long-delayed expansion of Shillong Airport, enabling to accommodate larger aircraft. The court direct aims to address the airport's operational limitations, which currently restrict it to smaller aircraft like ATRS, leading to frequent weather-related flight cancellations and disruptions. Approximately 22 acres of land are required for the expansion, with 10.3 acres belonging to defense authorities and 11.7 acres privately owned. The state government plans to acquire the private land through a private treaty purchase, which the court has deemed most reasonable. A construction tender worth Rs 150 crore has been issued, with an estimated 18-month construction period. However, the project awaits environmental clearance and DGCA approval. The court has directed both authorities to grant necessary approvals without delay and scheduled a status report for May 15, 2025. The BJP government in Tripura, led by Minister of Tribal Welfare Department Bikash Debarma, has undertaken initiative for the socio-economic development of the Riang Committee, a recognized primitive tribal group PTG. Debarma recently met with the Riang tribal people in Hazra Bari and Bahadur Sardarpara, listening to their concerns regarding education, healthcare, drinking water, electricity, and housing. He assured them of prompt resolution and stated that concerned departments have been instructed to take necessary steps. The government aims to empower the Riang community through training, financial assistance, and livelihood-based projects in sectors like agriculture, animal husbandry, and small industries. Notably, the central and state governments have implemented projects to resettle 40,000 Riang people, providing basic amenities like electricity, road, drinking water, and healthcare. Under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana (PMAY), homes have been reconstructed for community members such as Kamal Singh Riang, who expressed gratitude to the minister for the government support. The Mizoram government's Disaster Management and Rehabilitation Department has granted an ex gratia payment of Rs 12 lakh to the family of 3 individuals who tragically lost their lives in a rockslide on April 28. The victim, Lal Rin Lian A, 68, his wife Lung Tiawi, 52, and their daughter Vanla Ruhai, 25, were from Aizwal Falkland locality. The family was returning from Lengpui Airport when the rockslide hit their vehicle, which was driven by their son, Lalaum Zuala, who survived with injuries. The incident occurred after heavy rainfall in Mamit and Aizwal district. The news of the tragedy has garnered widespread sympathy, especially as Van Larai has returned from Singapore to help her family settle into a new home. However, a photograph of the minister handing over the ex gratia check to Lalaum Zuala during the funeral drew intense criticism. Many netizens condemned the act, saying it violated Mizo cultural norms, as funerals are seen as sacred and should not be used for political gestures. Social activists Vanram Chuangi took to Instagram to voice her concerns, stating that funerals should remain solemn and not be politicized. She also emphasized that ex gratia payments are a right, not a favor, and suggested that the minister should show respect by offering personal help instead. The Mizoram government has renewed efforts to transfer Lengpui Airport, the state's only airport, to the Airport Authority of India, AAI. A high-level meeting was held between Chief Minister Lalduoma and AAI officials led by Dr. Sharat Kumar and M. Raja Kishore to discuss the airport's future. The AAI team highlighted necessary infrastructure updates and presented action plans, while the Chief Minister noted that new opportunities have emerged from the transfer. Although previous attempts didn't materialize, the state government is optimistic about the potential transfer, which could improve the airport's operation and management. In Imphal on May 1, Manipur police arrested two men, Waikom Rohit Singh and Singthangamba Konsha Mangang, for their involvement in a NIA case and multiple mob violence incidents across the state. Singh, 33, was caught in Tubal district on Wednesday after evading arrest for months. Mangang, 25, was arrested the same day linked to attacks on police stations and government offices in Tubal and Imphal West. Following the arrest, a joint team of central and state forces recovered weapons including a .32 pistol, live rounds, and rifle magazines for Tubal. Both men are in police custody with further legal actions pending. Viewers will be back after a short break. Welcome back, viewers. You are watching Nltv English Primetime. Assam police have arrested 36 people, including Aminul Islam, an MLA from the All India United Democratic Front (AIUDF), for allegedly expressing pro-Pakistan sentiments on social media. The arrests were made across several districts, with the highest number from Kachar. On April 30, two individuals, Najibul Islam and Sanaj Hussain, were arrested in Bongaigaon and Sribhumi respectively. Aminul Islam was arrested after making controversial remarks about the recent terror attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir. In a video circulating on social media, Islam was seen demanding the tourists involved in the attack, leading to public outrage. The Nagaon police registered a case against him under several actions of the Indian Penal Code, and he was remanded to 4 days police custody by a local court. The Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma confirmed the arrest and vowed to take strict actions against anyone supporting or defending terrorism, especially in connections with the recent Pahalgam terror attack. In New Delhi on Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the first World Audio-Visual and Entertainment Summit, WAVES, and said it would help build a global platform for talent and creativity. He said that this is the right time for Create in India, Create for the World, as the world is looking for fresh storytelling and India has a lot to offer. PM Modi also spoke about the growing role of technology in our lives and stressed the need for creative responsibility, saying people should not become like robots and must remain sensitive. He also called for protecting young people from harmful content, especially with the rise of controversial online material. Modi said waves could make India a global center for filmmaking, digital content, gaming, fashion, music, and live shows. He joked that just like Indian khana food is loved worldwide, Indian Ghana music will also become popular. He added that even though screens are getting smaller, India's stories and messages are reaching further. The Wave Summit brings together creators, startups, industry leaders, and policymakers from around the world, aiming to make India a leader in media, entertainment, and digital innovation.
एक तरह से आज यहाँ ग्लोबल टैलेंट और ग्लोबल क्रिएटिविटी के एक ग्लोबल इकोसिस्टम की नींव रखी जा रही है। वर्ल्ड ऑडियो विजुअल एंड एंटरटेनमेंट समिट यानी वेव्स, ये सिर्फ एक्रोनिम नहीं है, ये वाकई एक वेव है। कल्चर की, क्रिएटिविटी की, यूनिवर्सल कनेक्ट की, और इस वेव पर सवार हैं फिल्में, म्यूजिक, गेमिंग, एनिमेशन, स्टोरी टेलिंग, क्रिएटिविटी का अथाह संसार। यही समय है, सही समय है। ये क्रिएट इन इंडिया, क्रिएट फॉर द वर्ल्ड का सही समय है। आज जब दुनिया स्टोरी टेलिंग के लिए नए तरीके ढूंढ रही है, तब भारत के पास हजारों वर्ष की अपनी कहानियों का खजाना है, और ये खजाना टाइमलेस है, थॉट प्रोवोकिंग है और ट्रूली ग्लोबल है। क्रिएटिविटी की दुनिया के आप दिग्गजों के सामने मैं एक और विषय की चर्चा करना चाहता हूं। ये विषय है क्रिएटिव रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। हम सब देख रहे हैं कि 21वीं सेंचुरी के, जो कि टेक ड्रिवन सेंचुरी है, हर व्यक्ति के जीवन में टेक्नोलॉजी का रोल लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है। ऐसे में मानवीय संवेदनाओं को बनाए रखने के लिए एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट्स की जरूरत है। ये क्रिएटिव वर्ल्ड ही कर सकता है। एक तरह से आज यहां ग्लोबल टैलेंट और ग्लोबल क्रिएटिविटी के एक ग्लोबल इकोसिस्टम की नींव रखी जा रही है।
Pakistani citizens continue to depart from India through the Atari border despite the deadline set by the Indian government expiring. Many had planned to visit relatives, while others, including Indian nationals married to Pakistani citizens, attempted to re-enter Pakistan after being previously denied entry. Families with connections across the border, including those from Kashmir, were also affected, with some expressing anguish and frustration over the government's order. A grandmother who spent nearly 4 decades in Baramulla was forced to leave, separating families. In response to the Pahalgam massacre, which killed 26 people, the Indian government has ordered Pakistani nationals to leave India, with deadline from SAARC visa holders and medical visa holders being April 26 and April 29 respectively. However, the Indian government has since allowed Pakistani nationals to exit India via the Atari border until further notice, pending clearances.
वीजा खत्म नहीं हुआ, हमारा तो वीजा 45 दिन का था। हमने तो बॉर्डर पास किया है 20 तारीख को, और 30 तारीख के 10 दिन में जा रहे हैं। 2-3 रास्ते में जाने में लगे, 2-3 आने में लगे। उधर 4-5 दिन ठहर सके।
आपको लगता है जो ये हालात खराब हुए हैं उसकी वजह से जा रहे हो?
हाँ जी जी, उसकी वजह से जा रहे हैं। ये लफड़ा नहीं होता तो हम नहीं जाते ना भाई, हम अपने रिश्तेदार से भी मिल नहीं पाए।
जो पहलगाम में जो अटैक हुआ, आपको लगता है कि क्या लगता है आपको?
नहीं, ये तो गलत हुआ है ना यार, ये तो गलत हुआ है। ये तो आतंकवादी का ये जो है ना, ये नहीं होना चाहिए, इसलिए तो हमको ही भेज रहे हैं। वो नहीं होता तो हम भी नहीं जाते।
ऐसे लोगों को आपको लगता है कैसी सजा मिलनी चाहिए?
बहुत कड़ी सजा मिलनी चाहिए इनको, तो ये फांसी लगनी चाहिए या इनको गोली मारनी चाहिए।
उसमें हम लोग की क्या गलती है बताएं पहले? हम लोग की तो कोई गलती नहीं है, करता कोई और फंसता कोई और है।
तो आपका पाकिस्तान पासपोर्ट है?
नहीं, इंडियन पासपोर्ट है।
इनको तो जाने नहीं देते, जिनके बाद तो क्या कहेंगे सरकार से?
मैं ये कहूँगी मुझे जाने तो, मेरे बच्चे वहाँ पे हैं।
चंद लोगों की वजह से आप जो श्रीनगर में हादसा हुआ आपको सहना पड़ रहा है, क्या बोले?
अब हादसा हुआ तो उसमें मेरी थोड़ी गलती है। अब जिसकी गलती उसको पकड़े, करता कोई और है, भरता कोई और। मुझे जाने दे, बस यही मैं कहना चाहती हूँ, कुछ नहीं। मुझे मेरे बच्चे से मिलना दे, बस मुझे मेरे बच्चे से मिलना है, मुझे जाने दें।
मैं कराची से आई हूँ, मेरी शादी कराची में हुई है, इंडिया की रहने वाली हूँ मैं।
आपको लग रहा है कि चंद लोगों की वजह से आपको सफर, आप लोगों को
जी इंशाल्लाह ऐसा हो सकता है। मैं भी बॉर्डर अभी दोबारा 2 दिन पहले भी यहाँ पर आके वापस गई हूँ, जब हमें इंटर नहीं होने दिया था अंदर। अब शायद उम्मीद है, शायद आज चांस है, अल्लाह ताला खैर के साथ हमें अंदर निकाल दें, बॉर्डर पार करा दें, हमें बच्चों से मिला दें। मैं अपने माँ भाई बहन सबसे मिलने आई थी, तबीयत ठीक नहीं थी माँ की। छोटी बहन है, भाई है मेरे।
छोटी बहन है यहाँ पे?
जी मेरी शादी हुई कराची में।
आपके वहाँ पे कौन कौन है?
वो मेरी फुप्पी वगैरह हैं, 2 फुप्पियाँ रहती हैं। एक फुप्पी के साथ आई थी, उनका पाकिस्तानी पासपोर्ट था, वो निकल गई, उनको जाने दिया और मुझे रोक दिया गया था यहाँ पे बॉर्डर पे, मुझे इंटर नहीं होने दिया।
पासपोर्ट को जाने नहीं दे रहे थे ना, अब 48 घंटे के लिए खोला है इन्होंने। हुआ है, आपको क्या कहेंगे उसके बारे में?
जी इससे हम सहमत हैं, बस ये होना नहीं चाहिए, बस इसमें हमारी तो गलत हुआ है बहुत ज्यादा, ये सही नहीं हुआ, पर इसमें
The Supreme Court on Thursday declined to hear a public interest litigation (PIL) seeking a judicial probe into the April 22 Pahalgam terror attack that killed 26 people. A bench of Justices Surya Kant and N. Kotiswar Singh criticized the petitioners for requesting a retired judge to monitor the investigation, stating that the retired judges are not expert in investigation but rather adjudication. The court asked the petitioners to withdraw the PIL, emphasizing that the request could demoralize security forces and that the issue's sensitivity shouldn't be brought into the judicial domain. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar on Thursday called for national unity in the face of the Pahalgam terror attack, stating that the nations must stay united under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership. Speaking at the release of a book in Lucknow, Dhankar emphasized that the national interest should be beyond compromise and that nation first should be guiding principle. He also highlighted the importance of constitutional institutions and respecting each other and confining themselves to their own areas to avoid confrontation.
पहलगाम एक चुनौती प्रस्तुत करता है, but the nation is fortunate to have a towering leader, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his 3rd term, and that is our greatest assurance. But when we have a chunauti like Pahalgam, the nation has to rise as one person. It is an occasion for us to take a resolve. National interest is beyond compromise. Nation first has to be our principle. हम भारतीय हैं, भारतीयता हमारी पहचान है, राष्ट्रवाद हमारा धर्म है और राष्ट्रीयता से हम ओतप्रोत हैं। इससे हम दूर नहीं अटक सकते। और यही कारण है कि आज दुनिया भारत की ओर देख रही है। भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ने सबसे बड़ी चुनौती स्वीकार की और चुनौतियों को अवसर में बदला और नतीजा क्या हुआ? हर घर में शौचालय, हर घर में बिजली कनेक्शन, हर घर में इंटरनेट, हर घर में नल और आसपास में शिक्षा और स्वास्थ्य की व्यवस्थाएं। उसी तरीके से हाल में जो पीड़ादायक घटना हुई है, मैं मानकर चलता हूं, मेरा दृढ़ मत है, हम इसमें विश्वास।
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke with India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, reaffirming US commitment to fighting terrorism with India. Rubio expressed condolences for the victims of the Pahalgam attack and urged India to engage with Pakistani to reduce tensions in South Asia. This followed an increase in ceasefire violations by Pakistan along the line of control (LOC) in Jammu and Kashmir after the April 22 Pahalgam attack. India has taken several measures against Pakistan, including halting the Indus Water Treaty and closing the integrated checkpoint at Atari. The Indian Army responded to Pakistan firing across the LOC with swift actions. Security forces have stepped up anti-terror operations in Kashmir after the attack. The Cabinet Committee on Security also reviewed cross-border links in the attack, noting that the attack occurred after successful elections in Jammu and Kashmir. India and Egypt held the 4th Joint Working Group meeting on counter-terrorism in Cairo. Both countries agreed to strengthen efforts in fighting terrorism in all forms. They condemned the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam targeting tourists. Egypt expressed full support for India in tackling violence and terrorism. The two nations discussed new challenges such as the use of technology by terrorists, including cryptocurrencies, drones, and cyber propaganda. They also agreed to enhance cooperation in areas like anti-money laundering, drug trafficking, and cyber security. India and Egypt will deepen training, information sharing, and use of AI for counter-terrorism. They also talked about improving multilateral cooperation, including in the UN, BRICS, and other international platforms. The next meeting will be held in India on a mutually agreed date. On May 1, India's External Affairs Minister Jaishankar spoke with South Korea's Foreign Minister Cho Tae-yul, highlighting the importance of fighting terrorism in all forms. Jaishankar thanked South Korea for its support following the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir, which killed 26 people. India has taken strong measures in response, including suspending the Indus Water Treaty with Pakistan until Pakistan ends its support for terrorism. The India government also expelled Pakistani diplomats, revoked visas, and cancelled any future visa services for Pakistani nationals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reassured the nation that the terrorists responsible for the Pahalgam attack will face severe punishment, stressing India's commitment to eradicating terrorism. He also emphasized the country's resolve to hold all of those involved in the attack accountable. A Delhi court has permitted the National Investigation Agency (NIA) to collect voice and handwritten samples from Tahir Hussain Rana, a key accused in the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. Rana, a close associate of main conspirator David Coleman Hadley, was extradited to India from the US after the Supreme Court dismissed the review plea against extradition on April 4. Special NIA Judge Chandarjeet Singh passed the order on April 30, allowing the agency to gather evidence to further investigate Rana's involvement in the attacks that killed 166 people. The NIA has requested the samples to aid in their probe, citing Rana's evasive behavior during interrogation. Rana's custody was extended by 12 days on April 28 to facilitate further investigation. US President Donald Trump has attributed the recent decline in the US economy's GDP to its predecessor, Joe Biden, despite taking office in January. The GDP report showed a 0.3% contraction in the first quarter, sparking concerns of a potential recession. Trump defended his tariffs, claiming they will ultimately benefit the US economy, and blamed Biden for the negative growth, stating that this is Biden's stock market, not Trump's. The decline is attributed to a surge in imports ahead of new tariffs and a slowdown in employment creation. Democrats argued that Trump policies could push the economy into recession, citing the rapid loss of momentum despite a healthy 4.2% unemployment rate.
Set the all-time records for the lowest number of illegal border crossings ever recorded. The number of illegal border crossers released into the United States is down 99.999%. That is usually 100%. Look at what happened with inflation. We had the worst inflation probably in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but I would say in the history of our country, it ate away at people. And even though you saw a stock market going up somewhat, because in my case, I had the biggest stock market increase, 88% in the last term, in my last term. But I don't view the stock market as the end all. It's an indicator. But what the stock market really tells you.
The United States and Ukraine have signed an economic partnership agreement, giving the US access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals in exchange for creating an investment fund in Ukraine. The deal was signed after weeks of tense negotiations and follows President Trump's push for agreements on natural resources. US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent stated that the agreement shows the US commitment to a free and sovereign Ukraine. The deal includes establishing a joint US-Ukraine investment fund to attract global investment. Ukrainian officials emphasized that Ukraine will retain ownership of its subsoil resources. The agreement also involves contributions from both nations, with the US potentially counting military aid as a part of its investment.
It signals clearly to Russian leadership that the Trump administration is committed to a peace process centered on a free, sovereign, and prosperous Ukraine over the long term. It's time for this cruel and senseless war to end. The killing must stop, and both the United States and the government of Ukraine look forward to quickly
This is all for Nltv English Primetime. For more news and updates, keep watching Nagaland TV.